It's you.
It's me.
You look a little different than I remember, but it's definitely you.
Something like that. Not quite. I've never met you before. Would you like a drink?
Just one?
You can have as many as you like.
Guess I'll start with the first one then.
There's already a glass sitting across from me. And I'm facing the stairway as if I've been waiting for you. And I have one myself.
Is there a chair set out for me?
Mm-hmm.
Are we sitting at a table or?
Yeah, a round table.
Okay.
Any other chairs that may have been here are probably pushed away. So it's just the two. It's not a big table though. Like a cocktail-sized table.
I walk over and I grab the drink. I pick it up and I smell it.
You know exactly what drink it is.
That's a neat trick, by the way.
That's a funny word, trick.
You gonna be a magician, hide your secrets and how you did it, or you gonna tell me? I sit down.
Please. I don't mind sharing if you don't mind sharing. I have a couple of questions of my own.
Well, you know who I am and what I do, so...
But not why.
I hope we don't take it as rude if I decline to answer.
You can, of course, decline to answer, but so can I. It's just curiosity. I know what you are. I know who you are. I know what you do, but not why. Why did you join the LAPD?
I see. I asked my question first.
Fair enough. Ask away.
How did you make a drink that so closely mimicked my memory?
That's what I do. That's my job. I'm a memory engineer.
Okay. Suppose if we're doing tit for tat, it's your turn.
Why did you join the LAPD?
Well, that's a long answer, but I'm assuming you want to know if I joined the LAPD in relation to not you.
Yes.
Answer to that would be yes. Actually, not a lot of people know this. I applied to Tyrell first.
I know. I read your application. I personally declined it.
You know, back then I said if I found the person who declined it, I'd have some words for him.
I'm all ears.
I've since forgotten them. But That put me on the path. Coming an LAPD Blade Runner. Because I figured it'd be the best way to get any sort of information, a lead, anything to prove that what I lived was not some dream. And then along the way, somewhere while I was searching, sort of got good at the job. And I kind of forgot the search. And not to get too noir about this, but of all the chin joints in all the world, you had to walk into this one.
Are you angry at her?
I was. Not anymore.
What changed?
I grew up. And there was a whole matter of wondering if that whole thing was just a lie.
What
I had
makes
never
it a
heard
lie,
of
Skiff?
I had never heard of a child replicant before or since. Till now, of course. Anytime I even dared to bring it up, which was very, very seldom, everybody looked at me like I was crazy, so I thought maybe I was. I thought maybe I just met a little girl who had a fantasy, said she was a replicant, said she was said she was going to die soon. Started thinking maybe it was just a little girl who was a compulsive liar. She just moved away. It was the easiest way that she could, or the kindest thing that she could tell me is that she wasn't going to be alive anymore, so don't go looking for me. Something.
Do you consider that an act of kindness?
Didn't then.
And yet,
But
you spent your entire career looking. You applied to Tyrell, then the LAPD. So clearly you didn't believe that. Not even for a second.
I didn't believe 100% of the way, one way or the other. But if you ever read any mystery novels, I read a bunch. The solution isn't what stays with you. It's the question. The question will motivate you, will drive you.
And your question was it real?
Bingo.
That is my goal with my job, to get that question.
So you're going to answer my question? The big question? The one I think I already know the answer to, but I want to hear you say it. Was it real?
I take a sip from my drink. I guess that depends on your definition of real, Skiff.
Did it happen?
Yes.
Did it happen to me?
Yes, it happened to you. Are you struggling with your identity right now, Skiff?
No. I know who I am, but the thing is, doesn't matter if I know it. I mean, we could all be living in a computer simulation. This is philosophical stuff that I try not to think too hard about. Just saying, if you can mess with memories, why not mine?
Maybe one day. It's not really my focus at the moment.
What is it? Your focus at the moment?
The future of the N8s. I don't work for Tyrell anymore.
Guess that.
Yeah.
What are you calling yourselves?
I work for Wallace. Have you heard of us?
Yeah, I know who Wallace is.
We specialize in patents at the moment. But probably in a few years we're going to solve the food crisis.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And my singular drive is to push Tyrell underground and then buy everything myself.
Maybe the first question I should have asked that just came up to me right now is, who are you? And if you say that's a complicated answer.
It's not complicated. My name's Nara Anderson.
I'm sorry, say that again?
My name's Nara Anderson. I worked for Tyrell for most of my career. And then got a job offer I couldn't refuse, not to be cliche.
And they picked you for the model for the Vanya series, or whatever you called it.
Technically my mother. But yes.
So you're saying more than you, the little girl that I knew when I was a little boy was a copy of your mother?
Yes. Genetically, anyway. I'm also a copy of my mother genetically. She didn't birth me in the traditional sense.
Did you have a daddy? Or was it just all her?
Just all her. And some other things she liked, and a few she didn't. Takes a vicious kind of a woman to set you up to be lesser than.
How much of her is you? Do you have any of her memories or anything like that, or it's just all biology is the same?
Biology is the same. Although I did work on the project. I did research. And I know everything that she experienced. She never lied to us before you.
Did she pick me? Or was that random?
Pick you how?
To be her little replicants test subject.
Skiff, you weren't a test subject.
What was I then?
She fell in love. started hiding things, hiding you, lying to us about where she was, acting like a real teenager. It was perfect.
What happened to her?
She was retired.
So she wasn't lying about that.
No. We had a hard time solving the lifespan issue until recently, as you know.
So, now the question as to the present. Now that we've dusted off our photo albums,
All right.
why am I here now?
Why are you here now?
You know why. The mystery. If I'd follow it wherever. But why'd you let me pull on that thread? You wanted me here.
Yeah. I wonder if you'll help us. Help her. Help me.
Who's us?
Wallace.
And your objective is to put Tyrell underground.
That's right.
That's what you said.
That's right.
Why?
So we can change things. Well, I'm sure power is actually the answer to that. Power, money. Make no
You want to
mistake,
change things like
Skiff.
the new law?
Yes, eventually. Not yet, though. Right now, it's doing us a favor.
Getting rid of all the old models to make way for the Wallace models. Is that what I'm hearing?
Tyrell is on track to go out of business in the next year and a half. It's the fastest way to get it done.
So once Tyrell is bankrupt, out of business, whatever,
Yes,
get the law repealed?
that's the plan. You are good at your job. I think
You
I
have that much
realized a
power?
long time ago that, I believe so. I'm very confident that Wallace Corporation will be able to get that done.
Well, you end world hunger. I'm guessing there's some money in that.
If you want to earn someone's trust, you have to ask them for a favor. Did you know that? Even a small one.
Maybe not in those words, but I see where you're going.
I'm under no illusions as the way the world is going to run, Skiff. It's going to be run by a corporation, one way or another. Doesn't matter which one. The rich are going to stay rich. But I do think I can use that to my advantage to enact the change that I want to make. And I want my children to have rights and to one day be seen as equals. One day maybe even be on the police force themselves.
Why is this so important to you?
Because it's the progress of humanity. It's the same thing as my birth. I wasn't created traditionally, not even going to say naturally, traditionally. The only difference is that replicants are created usually as adults. They don't go through the growing and the aging process, and there are some key changes. Strength, smarts. But there is no difference otherwise. Everything that they experience is the same as what we experience. I'm a parent, not an engineer.
Well, in the course of human history, when there's a stronger and smarter group of people, what happens to the other ones?
Eventually. Probably. It won't be in your time, so why worry about it?
Just because I won't see something bad happen doesn't mean I won't try to stop it.
And what makes it bad?
You're talking about the eventual extinction of the human race.
No, I'm talking about advancing the human race. This is our natural advancement.
But they wouldn't be human, would they?
What makes them not human, Skiff? What makes someone human? If my mother could choose blue eyes for me instead of green, anemia, how's that different from extra strong? How is that different from, let's make our skin different so that we can survive in horrific conditions in outer space? Is that not evolution? Are we not just smart enough to choose which way we're going to evolve? Why wouldn't we push ourselves forward?
I kind of think you talk about bettering and, evolving. I kind of think you're stopping the evolutionary process because evolution is chance. Sure, we'll get some weak-minded folks, but we also get geniuses. If you engineer everybody, you'll get all good, but no great.
I think if we engineer, if we create what we want to create, and we find the things we want to push forward, such as, say, strength, we'll start there. How does that change the chance factor of anything else? That's not stopping evolution from happening, it's just changing the direction, nudging it along. Focus on our strength. Nature will find a way to give us weaknesses. We're just speeding up the process. And just because someone is engineered a certain way, specifically tailored to be a certain type of individual, doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Hell, you could have a replicant who's not supposed to fall in love with a little boy fall in love.
So let me ask you this. When in the far, far future, it's just engineered humans. And they make a better one. You guys just go, okay. Walk off the cliff like lemmings. You guys are better. Yes. I guess we'll get out of here.
We don't do that now. Why would we do that then? I don't jump off a cliff if I see somebody smarter in the office. I go, that's very clever. Let's work together.
Well, you're talking about replacing humanity. I'm just taking it the next step. Replacing the replacers.
I'm not talking about replacement.
What are you talking about then? That's what I'm hearing.
Simple advancement. We are the same. Maybe some minor adjustments into certain models of replicants, but also that's Tyrell. I think unlocking the age limitation so that they can experience a real, full, rich life will make a huge difference. And the rest of it is just setting up your child for success. What's the difference between choosing strength or skin that can withstand acid when you know that they're going to be sent out to a mining colony? What's the difference between choosing something like that and making sure your child gets an education? At the end of the day, we're all playing God.
What's my part in this?
Help us take down Tyrell. For good. And don't let the LAPD slaughter all of my children.
How would we tell the difference between your children and the ones you want gone?
They are all my children.
So you're asking me not to kill any more replicants?
Not indiscriminately, I guess. Treat them the same as any other criminal. If you're hunting down a murderer, hunt down a murderer. But don't hunt somebody down just because they're a replicant.
How would I help you?
Are you wearing a wire?
Always.
I wait.
Guessing you want this next part to be between just us.
Preferably. You never know who's listening.
I'll take my earpiece out, put it on the table and tap it. Slide it over. Just us.
I need help getting back into Tyrell. They have begun a program, and I need the information for the program.
What program?
The Blade Runner program. I have reason to believe that Tyrell already has N8s working at the LAPD. I want to know who is working with Tyrell to do that.
So, you're looking for a mole.
That's right.
Funny you should say that. We're trying to hunt one of those bastards down right now.
Is that a yes?
I don't think I'm going to agree or disagree with anything just yet.
I figured as much.
My brain works slow. I got to mull this over. But I do got to know. Were you just betting on the fact that I wouldn't retire you right now?
Bet is probably too much credit. I was just curious. There's a chance. But if I put anybody else in this room, if I sent a messenger, and it's not real. I am asking you for help. And it is real.
Well, even if I was all gung-ho about your plan or helping you, how the hell do you think I'm going to convince my partners? You must have done your research. You know what they think about replicants.
Yeah.
How many they put down.
Yes. They either will or they won't.
So you're asking me to put my ass on the line for someone I barely know? For what? Do you think it's morally right for me to do this?
Yes, I do. Regardless of my plans for the future, we created these replicants. We gave them life, we gave them memory, we gave them feeling. They're here now. It's not something we can take back. Eradicating them simply for what they are is morally wrong. It would be the same as killing every single redhead because they had red hair. Or every athlete that was faster or stronger without training. It's fear. Afraid of progress, afraid of being defeated or eradicated ourselves.
This is a question that's... I just want to get your opinion on it.
All right.
How close to human can you get and still not be human?
How close to human can I get them to be without being human?
Can anything? It is a hypothetical situation. Say you're creating a robot, just a straight robot with wires, no consciousness, anything like that.
Right.
And keep adding little bits to make it more human. When do they become human? When are they still a robot?
When they say to you with their own mouth, I'm human. When they can recognize their existence and identify as human.
I think that's where you and I differ then.
These aren't robots, Skiff. These are beings made of the same genetic material as you or me. What makes me human versus a replicant? I was created in a lab. The only difference I can see is that I experienced my memories firsthand as I was growing. The replicants start later on in life, so I have to give them a head start. But what happens if I'm using memories I genuinely experienced growing up? Or Vanya's memories of her experiences with you. Those were real. What makes that person of flesh and blood not human? Is it the fact that they were created? Some would argue that you are created by some omnipotent God. What's the difference?
Well, that's been the question for ages. Am I real? You real? Any of this real? Human, not human? Cogito ergo sum. Think therefore I am. I think it's above my pay grade and too smart of thinking for me. But I see your point.
I have to tell you something that may change your mind, but it's the right thing to do. The memories that you shared with your Vanya model, they made for a very realistic memory of a first love. And I used them. Multiple models have them. A lot of the replicant underground models have them.
So you took her memories and put them in a bunch of other
That's
replicants.
Right. That's right. That's what I do. I engineer a life. I'm a writer. Obviously, they're not absolutely identical, but you and I probably have some common memory from our childhood. Some shared experience. It's the same. It's not your name or your face, but it is the way she felt about you. And I didn't want you to get confused. Should you meet one?
So, is it strange that my first thought was that there's a whole army of replicants out there that are on some deep level in love with me?
It's not strange. But again, it's not you specifically, Skiff. Names and details have been changed. Don't sue me. Most of my work revolves around my own life, with adjustments or stories people have told me about their lives, which is exactly what a writer does. Pulls from their own life experience or the experience of those around them. But I have noticed the most success when I'm using things that I experienced firsthand. And I don't know why that is. Did you know it's very difficult? When I first started doing this, I was very detailed. I made sure to include eye color, the way the skin felt, smells, sounds, taste, all of it, everything. That didn't work as well, as the human mind forgets over time. You have to purposefully leave things blank. And then it feels real. What are you purposefully leaving blank, Skiff?
You know, I like your vision for the future. I like the idea of humans and replicants evolving side by side. Do you really think that can happen?
Yes.
One of us has got to go.
No. I absolutely think that can happen. It's already happening. They live here among us. Give them the ability to do what we do. Reproduction. It'll happen. But if we fear them, if we rush to eradicate them simply for existing, then we are doing nothing but ensuring our own extinction. We are building the future we fear. And I refuse to do that. Not every human is a good one. Not every replicant will be a good one. But there will be some, and hopefully there will be many. And hopefully there will be many good of us as well.
I mean, all sounds great. But I remember a story of a very smart, brilliant scientist who created life. Bigger, stronger. That life ended up killing him.
Are you quoting Jurassic Park at me, Skiff?
A little older than that. I was actually talking about Frankenstein.
And why didn't that work out? Because he did it in secret. And everyone was afraid.
Maybe.
Will you do me the favor of letting me know your decision before sending the LAPD to ransack this place?
Well, that'll have to be your mystery. I stand up, finish my drink.
Goodbye, Skiff.
See you around. And I turn around and
Yeah, I just need to use the bathroom, okay? I'll just be a minute. Did you all lose the conversation when I did?
Yeah. I don't know nothing.
I think there's something wrong with your...
I don't know what happened. Yeah, I fix it.
I don't know if I should go in doing...
What was the last thing you said?
Last thing I heard was something about... Wallace and... I mean, it sounded like the implication was that they wanted to talk alone.
Narrator, did we hear everything that Skiff just heard, or?
I'm actually going to ask Skiff, and I just didn't want to interrupt the roleplay because it was so juicy. Skiff, did you actually turn it off?
yeah.
Yep. Okay. So then the last thing you heard was her say, "Are you wearing a wire?" And he said, "I suppose you want me to turn this off." And she said, "You never know who's listening." And then you heard the shuffling in the clothing as he took it off and put it down.
Okay.
So
yeah.
we heard everything else up
Everything
until that
else up until that point you heard. Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
So during that time period, and I guess for now, we would have been sitting on moving forward with the whole mole thing.
Yeah.
I just to make sure.
Yes, that is correct.
Sure that we're all on this.
Mhm.
Okay.
We're all still in my office, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you three
I know,
are. That's right. And Galen is on the
at-
scene. That's right.
At Electric Dreams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
what do you think? Should we do it? Should we wait?
I don't know.
I feel like we've got to wait until we get more information here.
Yeah, I don't.
There's got to be some kind of...
Yeah, and I look down at the paper that Sawyer had written the big T on, and I tap it and I go, yeah, I think we need more information.
Galen. Yeah. You gotta find him. Being radio silence like that is not okay.
What do I do when I find him?
Pull him out. And let me know as soon as you do, so we could go forward on this.
Roger.
All right, Sawyer. Get ready. Selma, you good?
I'm good. What I want to know is, are we going to bring any of this to Holden anytime soon?
Not yet. We don't know enough, and this feels dangerous. He was already very clear with Galen about not wanting to be involved with what we're about to do. So I think we should just move on, do what we need to do, go from there. Let's just hear back from, or wait to hear back from Galen. I will say
Maybe we
that
should
as
take
soon as... Go ahead.
a smoke break or something. Have a brief conversation outside. Somewhere.
You know what? I'm down for that. Oh, actually, you know what? We could go grab a coffee real quick.
Yeah.
the
Coffee
radios.
sounds really good.
Yeah, let's do
All right.
that.
That sounds.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. I'm going to get up.
I get up and I kind of shuffle out.
Yeah.
Okay. Time for the caffeine hit, as it were. I just say that real loudly.
Not the vending machines. The one on the street's better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Probably make a beeline to the elevators.
Yep.
And I imagine you're quiet all the way down in the elevator as we hear the advertisements from White Stop and everything else playing in the background.
Actually, I'm noticing there's like a... It's like a ladybug or something, or maybe, I can't tell, some kind of thing in one of the fluorescent lights, and it's trapped up there. And then I noticed that there's just a bunch of other bugs in it. Like, it must just be some kind of, like, death, like, graveyard for all these bugs. I'm like, somebody should clean that at some point.
I'm a nervous, fidgety mess all the way down to street level.
I'm about as still as a statue. Until the doors open up at the bottom. I don't waste any time walking with big strides.
Yep.
To get outside.
Yep. I match your stride.
I think as soon as we're outside on the street, probably just start walking in a direction. Still quiet for a block or so. Listening and waiting to hear anything from Galen. Do we hear anything before we get a block away? From the station, that is.
Oh, from the station or from Galen?
No. No, what I'm saying is we're walking. I want to walk about a block away from the station.
Yep.
I want that much distance in between. During that time of walking, do we hear anything from Galen?
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm just so eager to get back out on the dance floor. Ooh. I love that dress. It really accentuates your eyes.
I think he's going to be busy for a while.
Yeah. All right.
The second that we have an opportunity to do that little scramble.
Oh
with
yeah,
our KIAs.
absolutely. You guys are in charge of the narrative. You've absolutely.
Yeah.
You scramble the area.
I take the other two aside and say, I'm being set up as we speak. They're trying to pin it on me.
Okay. What do you need?
Every terminal.
from us?
Every terminal in the LAPD is currently hooked up to look like it's coming directly to my terminal, as if I'm the one monitoring everyone's activity.
Okay. What should we do this? How do we reroute it?
I think I can track it, or at least figure it out who did it to my terminal, but I'm gonna have to be at my terminal in order to do it.
Okay. How soon? Now?
The second we go ahead with this, I'm honestly not sure what the play is right here.
Sawyer, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know you. All right. No. And I look over at Selma. No, we're partners. That means something to me. And you trust Sawyer. And then I look back to Sawyer, just dead in the eye.
I do.
And you're saying everything's pointing at you.
That's... Someone set it up to look like that, yes.
And we don't know who is pointing it at you.
No, but maybe I can figure out who tampered with my system. But I would need to be at my own terminal in order to do it. Or at least that'd be the most efficient way to do it.
So you want to be separated when we actually get this moving?
I would rather not be too far from either of you,
No,
personally.
well, I am going to trust that it is not you, Sawyer. All right. But I will kill you if it is. And I need you to understand how serious I am. Selma,
Okay.
I need you to watch everything that Sawyer does. And that there's nothing being fucked with. And I'm sorry, Sawyer, but this is very important. You know that. But this involves your life in so many different ways. I'm not trying to fuck you over. I'm not going to pin anything that you didn't do on you. But if you, with the technical know-how that you have, I can't follow that. I'm taking you at your word. I can trust Selma. And I'm trusting you to watch you. With that being said, I will protect you. I won't let anyone come after you. As long as you're being honest and it's not you. I need you to understand that. I will be watching you.
Bob, I hear you. If anything happens with Sawyer, I feel like that's also accountability here on my part.
Absolutely it will be.
I've known Sawyer for a very long time. I trust him. I don't think that there's anything that we have to worry about.
No,
Right
I
now.
understand that. I do. But I'm not the sort of person that dances around shit. Okay?
I get it.
I don't play subterfuge. I don't work in between things.
Okay.
I only know what I know, and I react off of that. As of right now, Sawyer, I don't think you're the mole. And you were quick to tell us that you have a lot of things pointed at you. Should be easy enough from your expertise to track that down. Is that right? Do you think you can figure that out? Who's
Either.
pointing this at you?
Who do I think it is?
No, you can figure that out.
Okay.
That's what I'm asking. You believe that you can figure it out.
I think from my terminal, at the very least, I can figure out
All right.
who the likely suspects are that have tampered with my system. And from there, because it's all being routed through there, when we kick the hornet's nest, I should be able to figure out if it's being routed anywhere else before it goes to Tyrell. Whether that's another terminal in the building or another building entirely, but there's got to be some kind of middle ground. It can't just go straight to Tyrell. It's too direct. It's not safe enough for them.
Sure. All right. Well, if you found what you found already, then that means to some degree they're onto you. I don't know to what level, but if they're trying to pile things in your direction, then you're being watched. And us being there and leaving was seen. I don't see how there's any other likelihood. So we're on the clock, and we need to get back to your terminal now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, I'm just gonna grab a coffee real fast. Just give me a second, fellas. Can I just get the black to go?
Yeah,
with
that's good.
one,
We should get another.
no
please.
sugar.
I'll take one.
Oh, and
What's
another.
this journey? Mine?
Galen?
Yeah.
He's... Alright. We're heading back. Did you pick up that conversation? About, we're heading to, Sawyer's terminal.
Roger. Destiny. Deception. Dreams.
And the door slides, I'm guessing.
Or
And I'm
disappears,
standing-
probably.
There you go.
Like an
And I'm standing
illusion or
right
what?
there in front of you. Hey, Jake. How's Trix?
I'm going to look around and see if anybody is nearby.
Nope. You're in the hallway. The door has kind of reappeared, closed, that he walked down those stairs.
And I don't see this person that he was talking to.
No. She was down the flight of stairs, but yeah. So he walked through, the door then closed itself, and now you guys are in this hallway alone.
You want to tell me what's going on?
I do. Right now, I could really use a slice of pie. You want to join me?
All right. You lead the way.
And I start walking out of the club.
Yeah, maybe we can dance another time. I come here all the time.
I wait for him outside because, of course, we're leaving separately. I wait for him like where we came from, a couple blocks away. So, how did we get here again? I can't remember. Did we take our... I think I took my ride?
I believe that you did.
Okay. Did you? Or did you get a cab or something?
I think you and I arrived together, but I cannot remember.
Okay. So then I'll just wait for you at the spinner then.
Yeah, I think it's fine to say that you both arrived together and then split up and went in differently. If I remember correctly, you were speaking in the car about how it was going to go down before you went in, so
yeah,
that makes sense to me.
Okay.
As we're walking away, I will contact the rest of the group.
I've got Skiff.
All right.
We're on our way back to the spinner right now.
We're gonna get some pie if you want to join us.
We're
Close.
we're about to initiate our side of things. Are you saying we shouldn't?
No. Do what you're gonna do. This can wait.
All right. Hi, later.
My hand has been near my weapon the whole time as we've been walking.
Is there a... Yeah, observation. Just want to know if I see that. Is that cool?
I'm not trying to draw attention. Would this be a stealth roll for me?
Yeah.
I don't know if you just want to do contested or what.
Yeah, let's just do contested stealth versus observation. If
Beat a 0, pal.
Are you going to push?
No.
Okay.
It's one success from me.
Then I don't notice you do that.
Yep.
Skiff, what the hell happened?
Well, you heard most of the juicy parts. She wants me to help bring down the Tyrell Corporation.
What?
She wants me to smooth the way, and she wants to find the mole. I think the same mole we're looking for.
Who? Vanya?
No. Just looked like her. It's a clone, apparently. The one I knew from my childhood was a replicant. The person I talked to, the clone of her mother. And a specialist, an expert in the construction and implantation of memory.
So it's true then. They can just put... What? They can just take memories and put them in replicants?
If what she's saying is true, then yeah. You want to know the real kick in the nuts? The memory, at least some of them, or in some form, of my childhood and falling in love. She took that from Vanya and put it in other replicants. A lot of other ones, apparently. Not the exact memory, but more so the feeling. So, well, it's hard to wrap my brain around, but in some way, I'm responsible for teaching replicants what love is.
You're not responsible for anything, Skiff. That wasn't your choice. Was it?
No. That doesn't mean I didn't have a hand in it. Thought I'd be mad, but they stole memories from that period of my life and what two kids shared.
This isn't a movie, Skiff. They used you. She used you.
Yeah.
And believe me, Skiff, I know.
I don't feel used, though. She did use me, but I don't feel it. If I had to describe the feeling that I have right now, it's grateful that someone out there at least is trying to give these replicants compassion. They're not just strength and wit and mind. And I was gonna save this for Pi. This whole conversation. I wanted to have it with all the others. But they're busy. And I don't want to distract them, so of all the people, it's you. The one person I didn't think I would find myself with, but and I open my, like, I take my, oh, actually, I'm not wearing a jacket. I take my the side of my shirt up, and I make sure to look at Galen. And I grab the gun with two fingers, my sidearm. I grab it with two fingers, real slowly.
What are you doing?
And I grab my Blade Runner badge.
Skiff, what are you doing?
I hold them out for you.
I don't want that.
I set them on the top of the spinner. Galen, it used to be simple for me. Good guys, bad guys, human, replicant. I just sat in front of someone saying they're the same. Or at least they're becoming so close to being indistinguishable. And I find myself agreeing, or at least questioning if that can be. Now, partners mean something to me. I said that to each of you, and I meant it. But that means I can't be your partner, any of your partners anymore, because what was once 100% solid in my mind is no longer so. And I wouldn't want someone like that backing me up. I'm not going to turn on you. But I'm also not going to actively participate in what may be murder or near enough to it. Sorry. Before I went in, I didn't know how I'd react or what would happen. But I don't see any winners. I only see losers. I don't want any part of it.
Skiff. Have you really thought about this? What you're doing?
Part of me has been thinking about it my whole life. But sitting there, seeing my memory talking to me, or at least close to, it told me that I didn't make it up, I'm not insane, all that actually happened. And all the reasons came flooding back why I eventually got this job. Because I'm not sure if I had my piece turned on or off at this point, but my first job that I tried to get was to work for Tyrell. And the reason I did that was to find her. When that failed, the next best thing to get closer to my answer was to become a Blade Runner. And then I loved the job because it was right and wrong. People talk about a gray area a lot, but in the middle of that gray area, there is a line. I've never crossed it. I'm not going to start now.
We don't have to kill them, Skiff. We don't have to retire them. And make sure to turn off communications. Some always talked about retiring 9 replicants. I've never retired one, Skiff. I don't want to be a murderer. I'm trying to bring them in. They still commit crimes, Skiv. They still kill people.
I know. But the job is telling us that doesn't matter. whether they've done something or not. The job is now just to retire them all. I had
Doesn't
problems
have
with
to
it
be.
then. I have problems with it now. You say there's another way?
Yeah. What Renzo did, that was inexcusable. Blowing up a building so that you can run away. I understand the fear of death, but that doesn't excuse a bomb. That's the difference, Skiff. It doesn't matter what you're made of. What matters is what you do. That's the difference. That's what we're here to do. Don't be that person that kills without thinking. Don't be an executioner. But your thought about joining the force, save lives, to enforce justice, that's a different story.
So you're asking me to be a cop but not do the job? Because that's the job. Kill, no questions. You're saying I could do that? Saying you're willing to do that? You've been doing
I have been.
How would you like all this to shake out? This law, this, like 10 years from now. What would you like to see? I know what she wanted to see. She wanted to see, idealistically, if you ask me, but she wanted to see humans and replicants living side by side, evolving together. I personally don't think that's possible. I think one will try and kill the other and probably succeed eventually. But she said that's not set. What do you think?
Skiff, I'm just a vice cop. They put me in this program after I lost my partner. One thing I learned on Vice was that people are always just trying to get by, and I've never had a problem with those people. It's the people that are hurting other people. Those are the people I have a problem with. I don't know how to make any distinctions between what's human and what's not, but I know somebody using your memories, giving them to someone else, and calling it, what, evolution? I've never wanted to see all the replicants dead, Skiff. Just the criminals that deserve it. I don't know what kind of future we're looking at. If we have a corporate overlord. We basically had one with Tyrell for so long. I don't really remember any different. But that's the thing, Skiff. We're all different. They're taking things that exist from you and who knows who else, and they're giving those memories to other people without any consent from you. Who knows how many people they've done that to.
But they didn't take my memories. They took hers. I was just there. I was just lucky enough to be there.
They manipulated you, Skiff. They manipulated you.
There's got to be a word for that, though. A word for being manipulated, but kind of not minding. You ask me right now if I could stop them from taking her memory of us, but I would also lose it. I let them have it every time.
I wouldn't. These memories are mine, painful or not. But that's your choice, I guess. I don't know, Skiff. I don't know where we're headed. But I know that everything that makes us different as people, everything that makes us who we are, it's not the same. It's not the same. What happens after these replicants are given life, it's not the same. They're starting with the foundation of our memories, or whoever's memories, and they will never know. There's a set number of them. We've already seen 3 Renzos. How many Vanyas are there, Skiff?
No idea.
I wonder if they know.
It's a good question.
And that's the problem. Right there.
So let me ask you. Our job says kill replicants on sight or on knowledge of them being there. We find one that's doing something wrong, but nothing you would kill a person for. Say, shoplifting. Do we arrest them? We do that. They're dead anyway. Do we let them all
Probably.
go?
No. We treat them just like we treat anybody else. I know right now. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like taking them to an executioner.
Because, you know, once they arrest them, they VK them. They're done.
Will it be that way forever, though?
I'm just saying. If you arrest someone, there's a good chance. Arrest a replicant. There's a good chance that you're a party to their death.
I'm not the executioner, though, Skiff. We can
So you're
fight.
not taking responsibility for your part in bringing them in?
No. Skiff, this is different. When you pull the trigger, you make the decision. You say, this person will no longer live. I decide. We've been given that power. That doesn't mean that we should use it.
Sounds a lot like, to me, you're pushing someone off a cliff and going, the river killed him. They could have lived.
No. Because when we go through the process, and I shake my head as I say this because I can't believe I'm saying it. The whole reason that the law exists is to differentiate penalties for things that people have done. If we bring them in, there is a chance that we can convince someone and maybe get a law changed. But if we kill them, there's no chance.
I just don't see a way for me to be a clean cog in a dirty machine.
So don't be. You follow the law. And then, if the law fails, we do something about it.
You're a good cop, Galen.
I'm a shit cop.
Oh. You're a good human then.
I'm a piece of shit. I've manipulated a lot of people, Skiff. I can't even tell if I'm doing it right now to you. If I just don't want to see you go.
Well, I tell you what. At the very least, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself the rest of the night off.
They're gonna want an explanation.
Well, I don't think telling them I'm having a think is gonna fly, but truth. I just need to have a quiet think. Because it's either that or I leave the job right now. You, Galen, of all people, may have convinced me that's not the right thing to do. And that makes you a good human. Or do you want me to drop you?
I'll find my own way.
I grab my badge and gun off of the hood, open the spinner door, throw it in the passenger seat. Whatever happens, you take care, Galen. You surprised me, man.
Same.
Or
God, I think it's so humid. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like
All
I'm
right.
sweating unnecessarily. Are you sweating? I'm sweating.
It's not unnecessary.
God.
We need to focus. Okay. We're at your terminal. You've got the tools you need. But this is a fairly exposed place.
Yeah.
I'm trusting you. Selma, I need you to be there. Sawyer needs it. I'm gonna be watching for any movement coming our way.
Okay.
And if I say we need to go, we go.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys are gonna do. But as soon as I say go, we're going.
Okay. Yeah.
Understood.
Understood. Yeah.
I'm gonna be right there.
Okay.
And I step into a space where I get the most vision of the area we're in.
How are you doing?
Not good. I'm checking everywhere inside my own office space. I don't know if I have my own office space or if I timeshare it with like another technician or something, but I assume for now it's unoccupied. This is my allotted time to use it. And I can't help but put a cursory glance around for anything out of place that might be a threat.
I'll
roll.
Observation, please. Sorry, I'm still shooketh by that scene of events there just now.
I
Okay.
too am shook.
Oh, you're so shook. You rolled a nat one both times.
Wow. Oh no.
Which means you cannot push, unfortunately, when it's a critical fail like that.
Indeed, I am just too skittish. I'm too consumed by what's happening. If I have one of those Soviet happies,
I mean,
if I have one of those Soviet happies left over from Galen, I'm taking it right now.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I slam that pill back and settle down at the terminal and pretty much do what I did at Selma's terminal before,
Okay.
which is I need to approach it from a stealthy position as possible, where I'm not where what I'm doing, that I choose what would be seen by monitoring software. That's sort of what I'm trying to.
So you guys have gone back into the LAPD and you're at your terminal. You're not still making plans outside. Okay.
No, we're back inside now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm I just to give an idea of the floor that we're on. Now, I know Selma had an office, but I didn't know if Sawyer had one.
I don't think
considering the
Sawyer
nature.
does. Again, it's incredibly rare to have an office, so I imagine it's either time sharing, or you just have like a whole series of cubicles with stacks and stacks of paper, because remember, they're trying to rebuild the database. So you got a bunch of tech workers back there that will just come in at random odd hours, and they're plugging away at just data entry sort of in a way. And Sawyer is kind of in charge of building the database and maintaining the new infrastructure of the database, not just data entry. So
Yeah. I picture it as an office with 2 desks, and anywhere between 2 and 4 people can be working in here. But we're all effectively working on the same thing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it can be too many cooks in the kitchen. So it's just, unless we're in some big crunch, you might see 1 or 2 people there. And I mean, you can tell me if there's anybody else in here that we have to kick out first before we do anything.
No, I don't think so. I will say, though, that I think that it's probably got a lot of space in here. You've got a lot of stacks of paper. There's just a lot in here. And there's probably more than, like, you've got the, kind of scrum setup where you've got the 4 desks together, and then there's a break, and then another 4. And so maybe there's a total of 8 sets of desks back here, but maybe one of them's covered in papers, like, as you guys have all decided to use only a certain set. And you're all sharing, and maybe a lot of people prefer to work at their apartment. I actually don't know if that's available in this reality. It feels very apartment space feels very tiny, so you have to come into the office to do your work. So yeah,
I have a couple questions then for that, just for my own part.
Yeah.
So in this space, first, how many entrances and or exits are there?
We'll say 2. There's one in like the front, like the way you came in, and then there's probably a back door that leads to a set of elevators or vending machines or whatever. This is kind of like the most inconvenient spot all the way in the corner of the, back of the office that nobody wants to go to. And Selma's office is probably like right before you head into that direction. This is the graveyard of this floor.
So, which is fine. My concern is if people show up coming from the elevator.
They probably wouldn't come through this way.
All right.
If you want to stand guard on the elevator.
If they do, I'd be there to be like, kind of shoo them off.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because I want to make sure that nobody disturbs Sawyer either.
Well, so my concern is bad people coming in that direction, tripping wires. So for Bob's waiting for the threat. That's all he's waiting for. He's waiting for the gun, the person that's been found out, the problem. That is his only focus. If in this situation, if Selma said it was Sawyer, that's where his gun would go. But if people showed up coming off of the elevator and they had a look about them, a determined, we need to find someone doing something look, which no one should really have in this space, that's the threat. So I'm trying to get into a position where I can monitor both that and my people.
Okay.
And other than that, that's where I'm standing.
Okay. I'm inside with Sawyer. My arms are crossed and my feet are kind of tapping. But I'm listening to make sure that I don't hear anybody. When I was scuffling around. And I ask, is there anything you need? Any water or anything like that?
No, it's okay. Well,
Okay.
let's just figure this out, right?
Sure, yeah. You said this could all point at you?
I look at her, and then I sort of scratch my ear and glance up at the corner, and I don't answer her, and say, it's not that important. We can talk about it later.
Sure.
As I fire up my terminal, and I guess I start to look for things that are different. I feel like I know this machine pretty well.
Yep.
So what's it doing? What's it doing different?
Go ahead and roll a tech for me.
Let's hope I shook out those nat ones.
Yeah. Oh. Do you want to push the 5?
Absolutely want to push the 5.
Oh my
What
god.
happened? I'm falling apart at the seams here.
Yeah.
I didn't get advantage on the roll for scientist, I assume, but no.
Well, actually you did, but you also had disadvantage for what has been done to the machine or what's like happening in the background, so I just leveled it out. But I will say this, you don't fail at what you're attempting to do. You do it very well, but it doesn't appear that the machine itself, you're trying to see if the machine's different, right? If something has been changed with the physical machine, or maybe there's a program running on it. Is that what you're trying to do? Just so I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking for anything unusual about the way it boots up or the way it starts this process.
There's nothing unusual, so we'll say that's what that fail was. I think that's the first time you failed a tech roll, by the way.
Is.
Yeah. Madness. Okay.
So I now need to take a look at the way that. So what I'm aware of, and just clarifying that this is the truth, which is that every terminal and every piece of surveillance tech that I'm aware of in the LAPD seems to link back to this terminal currently.
Oh, yes.
Like
yeah.
this is the.
Yep. If they were to, do a cursory glance at where it looks like it's coming from, it looks like it's coming directly from you. It's using your login as well.
Okay, so I need to determine when that happened, if possible.
Yep.
If how long I think that this has been occurring for, because I have a guess in my head for how long back it stretches. And then I need to figure out. I guess I need to examine that network that's been created and see if I can figure out how it was put together. I assume it was put together from this terminal. So if someone accessed my terminal to do it, when did that happen and who was it, if possible?
Right. Okay. I will need another tech roll. Still at normal. No advantage or disadvantage. Yep. Let's do that first.
Okay. Oh, that was stealth by accident.
Okay. I was like, finally. Stealth is good though too, because it keeps you. Okay. Are you gonna push, or are you gonna stick with the one success?
I'm gonna push the 4.
Okay.
I am gonna push the 4.
How is your resolve? I think you're very close to taking a stress, like a critical stress.
This would knock me down to 3 based on what I've calculated.
Yep. Okay.
But I think this is a worthwhile one.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Is that correct? I don't know if that did it right.
Yes, that was a push, but it didn't
work. That's okay.
You can push again if you want. You can push as many times as you want until you take a critical stress.
And I'm gonna take the one. I'm gonna take the one success.
Okay. And I'm realizing I don't think that you know how the critical stressors work. I'll give you the page number, but essentially taking a critical stress is going to be something like something from a table that is almost like an emotional scar or some sort of traumatic thing emotionally that happens and stays with you until you get some downtime. And then your resolve will build itself back up. But it's not going to, just in case you didn't know what that was. Okay, so you're going to take the one success. Let's ask you some questions. When did you start working here?
I formally started working at the LAPD. It would have been...
Generals are fine. You don't need to give me an exact date, but yeah.
How long ago was it? It would have been about 14 months ago.
Yeah.
That's when I transferred.
Do you remember where you transferred from?
I was a graduate from a tech academy, and I had training in security and could have easily... I had a suite of training that could have made me, an officer in without too much trouble with like a police academy or anything like that. But I effectively came from corporate world.
Yes.
So if anyone knew that, they would know.
Do you remember which one?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to share, or would you like to keep it quiet?
Yeah, I'll share it.
Yep.
Sawyer was trained at a Wallace Corporation-backed university. to be a tech analyst and security expert, basically.
Do you remember the conversation you had with the woman who hired you?
Yes.
Okay. So I think as you are looking to see what has been done, the conversation you had with that woman floats to your mind where she warned you that there might be people in the LAPD that would be unpleased to find out that you came from Wallace, and that she told you to kind of keep it under wraps that you were coming for, that you had trained at Wallace, right?
Yes.
I think all of that surfaces into your mind as you're searching through your computer, and for some reason, you know you did not pull up any bank information or anything related to your implants, but that is in your history. So now it looks like if a detective were to be looking at this, it looks like you've been paid off. But you don't see from whom. Unfortunately, with just the one. But I will give you that. It looks like someone knows your history here.
Okay. And is Selma witnessing this?
Yeah.
This
Selma's
information
sitting
being
like
pulled up?
across from you, but I don't think I'd be looking over your shoulder because
Okay.
at
Oh,
this
no.
point-
I'd ask you specifically to look over.
You want me to look over?
Yeah, I wanted you to scrutinize the shit out of them.
I think all right. Well, I think I'll grant you this. I'm there, but I don't know if I'm being as scrutinizing as maybe I should, because I'm also experiencing a critical stress.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around the room and I'm just trying to like sort of decipher what Sawyer's doing, but I cannot make heads or tails of it. I mean, I think I could maybe roll for it, but I don't really know what's going on here. I think I can read Sawyer's facial expressions, maybe.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm assuming that there's something that's going on that I don't know about, because you look a little stressed.
I think it just kind of clicks together in my head that I'm not sharing this out loud, but I'm stating this, which is that Sawyer's assumption is that this mole, which he is 100% convinced works for Tyrell, is creating a fake trail on Sawyer so that he can be thrown under the bus as a mole,
And
whether
Wallace.
it's for, trying to connect that thread there. So I think the next thing that he has to do is and that was my assumption based on trying to figure out who did it, right?
Yep, that's right. So you're exactly right. I technically don't think I can let you roll again for that same question, but if you want to ask me a different question, absolutely, we can let you try to figure out a different way if you'd like.
I know that we know that the information is going to Tyrell. That's what I determined last time, was that it was being routed to Tyrell in some sense. So my assumption is that a Tyrell mole wouldn't make a direct pipeline between the LAPD and Tyrell, because that would be, if it was discovered, that would be incredibly obvious. So I'm trying to find out if this information stops at any other place before it gets to Tyrell Corporation, whether that's another terminal in this building, or if it's a secondary building that's acting as like a proxy between the LAPD and Tyrell. That would be the next thing I try to find.
Okay, absolutely. Go ahead and roll tech, please. And again, we're going to do no advantage or disadvantage. So just a normal roll. That's a tech 2. Wow, that's a 9 and an 8. There we go. There is the Sawyer that we know. Okay, so you're looking for any other drop-off points. I'm going to say that, yes, you do find one. And I'm going to let you decide where it is. Which I know sounds weird, but just trust me. Yep.
Okay. I decide where it is. I think think it has to be either another terminal in this building, or it has to be a reconnaissance site nearby. Those are the two things in my head right now.
I think it should be a reconnaissance site nearby, personally, because I think that that's a little bit more intelligent than routing it through another terminal here if they've got it set up for you to take the fall.
If it was our current age, it'd be like a van on a street or something like that. But,
That's right.
but if this is something more stationary or concrete, if it's an apartment or like another office or something like that acts as a relay point.
I have a couple of different options for you, and it would be this world's, I believe, variation of the white van. A floating advertisement that goes through, and it would circle the block, so nobody would even think twice that advertisement is doing anything weird or that anything's being routed through it. So we can either do a floating advertisement, we can do our own version of a white van, which would be a limo-style corporate vehicle, or we can do an actual physical building location, like Lil's Diner, for example.
Right. As an example, just to clarify.
As an example, you can choose, though. It is your choice, absolutely. I will wing it based on what you decide.
I guess my question is, would this be... can Sawyer determine if this is an automated process, or is there someone acting as operator between these 2 points? If it's automated, then the billboard makes the most sense.
That is a very good question.
But if someone is actually... Because my take on it is that just raw data from the LAPD isn't the most useful, but if someone is there and is interpreting it and deciding what to send on to act upon, then that makes the most sense to him at the moment, to me.
Okay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and roll one more tech for me, because I have a thought.
Okay. I'm gonna push.
Yep. Okay. I
might. I'm pushing it again.
Yep. I believe that means it's the critical stress now. So you'll take one of those and let me get the thing out. But go ahead and push first.
Oh, I thought I'm dropping to. I think I'm dropping to 1 with this one.
Oh, are you?
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, there you go. Wow, that's a 2. Okay, perfect.
I'm hanging on a 1 at the moment.
You're swimming in sweat.
Yeah, no kidding.
I am. I'm hacking up a storm over here.
Yeah.
I'm losing it.
I love it.
Okay, so I think what I'd like to give you is that your thought process is perfection. And you're thinking, well, if there's somebody there doing it, it's probably more likely a physical location. I think we're going to go ahead and say that you reveal it's actually a floating advertisement. And so you think, okay, it's automatic. But then you kind of look at it again, and it doesn't look automatic to you. It looks like, it does look like there's a person controlling the information. But how and from that advertisement, you're not sure. I think some of the first things that come to mind might be they must work in advertising, or potentially it is somebody else here at the LAPD that has access to the board. Do we have anybody that's like, okay, these are the ads that are going to be circling around? You could maybe look up to see if anybody had filed a complaint about the ads, being noisy or something like that, or whichever ad had been installed. But it was about 14 months ago. So either shortly after you got hired that this was set up.
As all those things click into place, I just kind of freeze for a moment as I'm trying to figure out, did anyone else get hired around the same time as me that would have been maybe not suspicious then, but now is jumping out at me or anything like that? Or was I part of like a recruitment drive? I guess I must have been post-blackout now I think about it.
Yeah.
It was probably a lot of these digital architects being brought in for this purpose.
Natalie was.
That's interesting.
What's interesting?
It's just crazy the things you'll find. What can I... We originally had a plan of sort of using information or like putting something out there that the mole would pick up on to so we could track that information. That doesn't seem useful anymore because we at least have a relay point, which is this advertisement. In theory,
right.
we could... In theory, I'm just thinking we could access that remotely or directly, you know, depending on our needs, and we can try and figure out more from there. But the changes to my terminal, I don't know how recent those are based on, I had some pretty bad rolls back there. I don't know how recent these changes are.
I'd say it's probably been this way for a long time. Have you ever had a reason to look up to see if your data at the LAPD has been going anywhere?
No, I've had no reason to look at that.
Then it's been there the whole time you've been working here, I think. I will say this, that this could be done remotely.
Gotcha. It wouldn't have to be accessed from my terminal directly.
It doesn't have to be accessed from your terminal directly, but it looks like it has been.
Okay.
Because they want it to look like you.
Of course. But if I don't have a timeline of when that might have happened, I don't have anything further to determine from that. As in, if I don't know when it occurred, I don't know how to filter further information to find out who it might have been.
Yeah.
At this time.
Baby, you said not a lot of people are in this office, right?
That's right.
Can I roll some kind of maybe like observation or something to see if there's any sort of activity? Maybe even a document nearby that was printed out recently that shows that somebody else was in this office.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna go for that then. Ooh, dog. That's spicy hot dog. That's 3. Kind of take off my glasses and I do a little squinting. See if I can pick up on anything. Use my Selma senses.
Yeah, okay. I have to send you a DM.
The PVDM.
It's a lewd, folks. Don't delude yourselves.
Delude.
I can't with that 3, dude.
Huh. Isn't that... Hang on a second, and I look and I see... Isn't this that same brand of hair ties that Natalie likes? You know, the kind of scrunchy ones you can sort of see that... I don't know, it's not as resilient as a normal hair tie. It's kind of like scrunchy. You know, I think they used to call them scrunchies. I think this is hers.
There's a sort of a very cold recognition in my eyes as you start saying that. I reckon you're right. Yeah, that does look like hers.
But nah, that's just coincidence. Everybody wears these.
Oh yeah, those things get everywhere.
They're everywhere.
I look to Selma and say, in terms of what we're looking for, got some leads and some connectives, but not sure there's much else I can do from here right now. Unless you have any ideas.
I do. I mean, I do, but I really don't know how how much into detail we want to go into that here.
It's a good question.
Before
And
you
I lean
leave.
in.
Yeah, I was just going to say we can do that thing that I think. Anyway, you continue first, and then I will jump in.
I was just going to say that whatever happens, I just want you to know that we're going to do this as a team. But just protect yourself, okay? I don't know if Bob hears this, but I just want you to make sure that you're okay. That Sawyer's okay, also. You're putting a lot out there. You're risking your life at this stage. I don't know what that means for you. But I've seen enough. I'm in your corner.
I give her a smile, and how difficult would it be for me to erase the history intended to pin me to Wallace in this moment?
Yeah, not that difficult at all. Let's do one more tech roll.
Sure.
And I think while you're doing this, Selma, would you like to do this on Sawyer's terminal or on a different terminal that's like literally right next to it?
Just one.
Okay, one tech. And then Selma, will you roll me either tech or... Oh yeah, we'll do tech. Or observation.
Tech.
Yep, either one.
Tech or observation?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Perfect. Observation 2. Okay. So we see Selma pulling up footage of just kind of the LAPD security footage of around the time you got hired. She's scanning through it. We've seen her do this before. She's very good at this. She's got some weird uncanny ability to kind of like trace people's steps. She sees that hair tie and goes, okay. And begins to look up to see if there are any instances of when Natalie has come in or out of the building around the time that you were hired. And you absolutely do see footage of her coming in here and plugging in a USB to your terminal shortly after she was hired.
Wait, is this Selma seeing this?
Selma
or is
sees this on the terminal
Selma
because
sees
she's
it,
not
okay.
doing it in front of Sawyer.
I pull up on my screen, and I've written something down, and I kind of nudge to Sawyer like, wasn't this like an old fling? And on the screen it says, it's Natalie.
I mean, I never knew her like that, but yeah. I mean, you know me.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
How in earshot is Bob?
How in earshot would you have put yourself?
I'm. This room was sort of sizable, right? I know it was.
It's also very
massive.
quiet in here. So
Yeah, but
you
there's
know.
also stacks of paper muffling, so I'm trying to figure out where I'm at because
Why don't you? Do you want to roll an observation for it?
Yeah,
Yep,
let me
let's
do
do
that.
it.
It's good.
I feel like you can, if you want it. I was going to say you can have advantage for being a cop that's literally currently actively listening. You're not just standing there waiting for an elevator. You're kind of on alert.
I will. Would advantage give me another D8 or a D10?
I believe it's a D10. It gives you another. Well, what is your?
So I.
Oh,
get,
I see what you did. Yeah.
Yeah. I get a D10 for intelligence, but a D8 for observation. So I'm wondering if it was.
Okay. I actually don't know. Go ahead and roll again with advantage, and we'll find out.
Sure. All right. So it
Gives
looks like
you a
it
D8.
rolls. It gives me 2 D8s.
Yep. Okay. Good to know.
I'll take that.
I think
D8
advantage is
though,
your smaller base die, I
Yep.
think is what it
Yeah.
says.
because I was gonna just roll a D8, but I will stick with the 4.
Okay.
And I will assume between me trusting Selma, me looking at the elevators, and just the room composition, I can hear them talking, but I'm not picking up anything massive. And I'm not really worried about it either, because I know that everything's being monitored. I would expect them to be quiet.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
I think with that, you know, if I wipe that data, that history that's been sort of placed here as cleanly as possible, and I give a very knowing look to Selma as I do so, because it felt like she's giving me implicit permission to do so. And I assume that I have like I know exactly which billboard it is, or I know what yep, cool. So I think with that, which I probably write down on a scratch pad, just so that I have in hard copy, that I'm ready to get the hell out of there, and I look really ready to leave.
Time to go? Maybe?
Yeah, I
Spot a
think
dinner or something?
that sounds good.
Yeah.
I see them stand up, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Shut
they're
everything
heading,
down.
Yeah, they're heading towards the door, I would imagine.
You're done?
Yeah. Seems like it.
Yep.
Did things go well?
Well enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go get that pie.
Yeah, sounds good.
Again, in silence, going to the elevator, making our way down, and then large strides to get outside. And not in the same direction I went before. As soon as I'm outside, last time I took a right, I'm taking the left.
Okay.
And as soon as we're about a block away, turn around, create our little bubble, get close together. All right. What'd you find?
Sawyer, you want to start off?
Yeah, I can start. And I'm just fidgeting with my implant, like, as a force of habit. No pain or anything, just like I'm tuning in and out of footsteps and conversations nearby. Whoever is doing this from the inside has had this set up since I joined the LAPD, which means this whole thing of trying to throw me under the bus. As a mole, they've had that as an idea in their back pocket since I first joined. I don't know exactly why. I guess I'm just a likely candidate. It would make sense. Like I said to you the other time we met, you know, if I was a paranoid person and I wasn't me, I would assume that I'm the mole. Just from my behavior recently, trying to get to the bottom of things. But they've been planning this for a lot longer than I thought they had. There's no secondary terminal in the police department that appears to be acting as a nexus for all this data, but it is being transported to a floating billboard that circles the block near the precinct. They're using that as a bouncing off point. And I don't know if it's storing data or if it's just rebounding it or what, but that would be our next bet if we're going to try and triangulate exactly where this is coming from. But I'm afraid it's
this. We know it's
Tyrell.
Tyrell, but who?
I found security footage of someone accessing that terminal that we were just at. And, looked a hell of a lot like Natalie. So, I don't know what that means, but...
We're going to the hospital right now. I am brushing past them, and I'm going to get the spinner.
Bob.
No.
Bob, wait. And I
No,
kind of
there
have
is no
like
wait.
I don't know if this is right to rush into this like right now. She's at the hospital. I mean, I want answers just as much, but
Do you know she's at the hospital?
This could be intense.
No. Do you know she's there? Do you know that she wasn't monitoring us the whole time? Do you know that she didn't see what you did? No.
I don't. I don't know that.
Look, we've got to go. And I'm still walking. I never stop. Is our spinner on the road, or do I need to requisition one?
It wouldn't be on the road. It would be like in the probably
Yeah.
inside
In,
of the
the area.
building. Yeah, where you have to go in and get it. So yeah, but you can head straight there.
Oh, yeah. So unless you feel free to continue to talk to me as we're going, that's fine. But I'm walking with purpose.
Okay. Sawyer, I'm not sure you should come with.
What?
No. Sawyer, come with. I'm not letting you out of my sign either.
I'm torn between two people right now. Yeah.
I'm still not completely sold. You're not going anywhere. I'm sorry, Selma, but I don't know who to trust. Natalie, and then are we at the building yet? Or are we?
Sure. Yeah.
Have we gotten there?
Yeah.
Okay, so at that point, I'm like, we'll talk in the car, and then we go up. I'll get the car. Does anything happen in between getting there to get to the spinner and to get out into the open air?
Go for it.
As soon as I'm in the car, and that we're all in the car, I'm driving, and I'm driving fast.
Drive roll for me, please.
Yeah. Now, is that a maneuverability, or is there a specific
In the vehicle tab, you
Right,
hit the vehicle maneuverability. Yeah.
maneuver? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did it at advantage. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I can roll that again.
Mm-hmm.
You got a 7 and 4 as your first ones anyway.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I think you're good.
So
I like
it's a 1. All right. Well, without that 2, then yeah, I get 1 success. So
Okay.
as we're driving,
Mhm.
I'm not really looking at them, but I'm rattling things off. It's like we found Natalie after we had determined that she had been picked up by Tyrell thugs. What the fuck is that even supposed to mean? That's why I don't trust you right now, Sawyer. That's why you can't go anywhere. I don't know what's going on. No, I'm not blaming you, but you have to understand that I don't know. We know that Sam, not my Sam, was there too. I have no idea what's going on. The only person that can give us any sort of information, if they're even willing to give us information, is Natalie, and I can't let her out of my sight. We cannot let her go. We will get there and we will talk to her. But I need to
Sounds
know
fair.
what you think. I look over at Selma. What the fuck is going on?
I think I was trying to tell you what was going on, but you decided you were the leader of this outfit, so now we're having a quarrel in the spinner on the way to a hospital. Bob, I need you to think about how intense this is going to be. We don't even have backup. What are we going to do? Walk in there? What if she's still in the hospital room? What are we going to say? We know what you did?
No.
She's in a cast. I mean,
No.
this is... You've got to consider that we might be wrong here. We might be incorrect. Now, I'm not saying that, Bob. I trust your intuition. We're partners. But you got to think of the logistics here and how this is going to look. This is going to look real intense. And quite frankly, I don't think Sawyer should have to deal with this because we brought Sawyer into this mess in the first place. But I see your point.
My hands are on the wheel, or what would be a wheel. My knuckles are white from gripping it. Selma, I'm gonna need you to do the talking when we get in there. I know this isn't impulsive, but time is not on our side. It is just not. I still don't really know what happened at that club. Right now, it's radio silence. No, I trust Galen. And when he gets to me, he gets to me. I'm gonna trust him to do what he's supposed to do. But he had Skiff. They're too far away. We're closer to the hospital. We've got to do this. This is something I would usually trust Galen to do. We can tell them, and they can come, and that's fine. But my priority is getting to Natalie, because if she's the one funneling stuff to Tyrell, then she's the enemy.
Can I just say something real quick?
Sure.
If it is Natalie, then she's probably gonna try and throw me under the bus.
Sure.
She's probably gonna say she's had suspicions about me for a long time, or however she's gonna frame it and present it to you. So what can I tell you right now that would make you trust me just a little bit more?
Nothing. I'm gonna trust that she does that. I'm gonna trust that she is gonna try and sell you out. She's gonna try and make us believe that you're the bad guy. My trust is in Selma and what she saw. I don't think you're the mole at this point. I'm not turning my gun on you. Okay? But I don't know what's going on. The fact that I don't know what the fuck is going on with Natalie means I can't trust my eyes and ears right now. I cannot. So I can't trust you to be away. And I can't trust that she's not going to get away. And you're right. I'm sorry, Selma. This is a team. We're a team. I should talk these things out. I just do not want to let her get away. But you're right. I'm not in charge. And I'm sorry. I will listen to you. If you honestly think I need to stop this spinner, I'll do it. I understand I'm emotionally invested. I just don't want to let her get away.
I understand. I do. And I can do as much talking as possible. But, you know, Bob, you're a cool-headed person, and when you lose it like that, I just feel like, geez, I'm just not sure what's coming next, you know, and that sort of unexpectedness tells me that, you know, if we have a plan, what if that derails or something because we're too emotionally heated? But I hear you, and God damn it, Bob, I'm angry. I'm so angry. I mean, I wish I could just snap my fingers and everything would be figured out. I don't even know what's going on with Skiff and Galen right now, but like you said, I trust them, and I can only assume that our partners are doing what is best for us, what is best for the squad. They're good people with good morals. And I don't think they would want us to go in guns blazing either. I think they'd want us to be just as careful and safe and approach this methodically as we can, Bob, because we've done it before. We'll get there. I know it. I feel it. That's my intuition, Bob. I trust your intuition to get us to this hospital on time. But my intuition is that we're gonna be just fine.
All right. Just hold off letting Skiff know for a little bit. This is Natalie.
I think that would be a lot. That would be a lot. So...
All right. I do slow down a little bit. I'm not driving as reckless. I think my hands release a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is Galen. You read over.
Yeah, go ahead.
Status update.
Actually, I want to make sure you're doing okay. You and Skiff all right?
Yeah, we gotta talk.
You and I?
All of us.
Is Skiff right there beside you?
No.
Galen, we're on our way to the hospital.
Somebody hurt.
No. We're going to go see Natalie.
Natalie.
She might be the mole.
What?
I know. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But we're on our way there.
I'll meet you there.
All right. Drive safe.
I continue driving until I see the hospital building. I'm going to look for a level that I can park at that's closest to whatever level hers would be, which I imagine we would know because that's where she was. So I'm just looking.
I would imagine that you get priority parking or placement. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think as soon as I set the spinner down,
Mm-hmm.
I let go and I lean back, and I'm fidgety a little bit, and I'm gonna turn my body towards Selma and Sawyer. I feel like I've lost the narrative. Is that what they say? I'm good at the job because I keep it simple. It's easy to shoot when you know what to point at. My instinct is to walk in there with my gun out, put it against her head, and make her talk. That's my instinct. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to trust you, Selma. Keep your comms open. Please don't close them down.
Okay.
I don't trust myself in that room.
Okay.
Sawyer. Sorry. Go ahead, Selma.
No. I hear you.
Sawyer, I'm sorry I threatened you.
It's alright.
I don't trust you. But you didn't deserve that. I'll be here.
Okay.
I'll be listening.
All right. Well, time is money. Time's wasting, so let's gather our army, shall we, Sawyer? Metaphorically. Bob, we'll be back soon, and Thank you for the trust. And
We're partners.
don't be so hard on yourself.
I'm not. Now get out there.
All right.
Where are you, Galen?
I am stopped in the rain. Then across street, and I'm trying to decide where to go. Figuring out where the hospital is. For some reason, I want to walk there. Or I have that urge, at least. I feel like I'm not in a rush. Or like, if I do grab a cab and go there, I have to deal with the situation. And I've just got my coat as tight as I can, but I'm drenched nonetheless. Put my hands in my pockets. I feel around and I feel the drugs that I have in there. I take them out and I look at them. I clutch at my necklace. And I put the drugs back in my pocket. I can't lose another partner. I won't. I look up and the rain hits me in the face. And it feels like each drop feels like a hammer blow. I breathe deeply. And I look for a place to hail a cab.